Somewhere in the deep darkness of space, planets exist that should not be real.
The universe is already here, vast, silent, revealing itself slowly and never all at once.
We imagine planets as stable worlds, familiar and predictable, shaped by balance, by gravity, by order itself. Yet many of them are born under extremes so severe that intuition collapses almost instantly, long before true understanding can even begin.
Planets form across the universe, guided only by gravity and heat, evolving without templates or preferred outcomes, growing vast or remaining fragile until scale itself slowly loses meaning and comparison quietly, almost imperceptibly, fails.
A planet's surface often hides more than it reveals, suggesting simplicity where layered systems operate beneath, shaped by pressure, motion, and time, evolving slowly, quietly, long before any stable form appears, and long before its true structure can be understood. For a long time, we believed that extreme worlds were rare, that planets formed gently within narrow conditions. But the universe does not favor comfort or balance. It favors scale, pressure, accumulation, and time operating far beyond human intuition. Scale changes slowly in the universe, not through sudden motion or visible force, but through accumulation beyond intuition. Distance gathers meaning over time. Mass reshapes space without urgency, and time itself stretches so far that even movement becomes difficult to perceive. At these scales, the universe no longer feels dynamic because change unfolds beyond human expectation and outside the rhythms our intuition was built to recognize. Processes extend across distances so vast and spans of time so long that motion loses meaning until what remains is not movement but scale itself. At a certain scale, space no longer feels like a place. It becomes a condition that surrounds everything at once. There is no clear direction to follow, no foreground to measure against, only structure suspended in silence. What appears still may be drifting. Even when motion disappears from perception, forces continue to operate without interruption, shaping structure through constant influence rather than visible change. Gravity does not announce itself through movement. It works silently, accumulating effect over time, guiding matter into form long before awareness catches up. At the edge of visibility, planets lose clear shape, light weakens, and structure begins to blur into space. Surfaces fade, motion slows, and distance stretches until form is no longer fully defined. Nothing disappears, but clarity weakens, and the universe reveals less the farther we look. The universe unfolds without haste, across distance and time, revealing only fragments of what exists. Light shapes the view, Scale determines what we notice, and perspective limits our understanding. We look deeper, yet the vastness remains silent, never giving itself completely, never to be understood quickly. We often judge a world strictly by its surface, mistaking a quiet exterior for simplicity, assuming that what we see is the totality of all that exists. Yet a planet is never a static object. It is a layering of hidden systems, concealing a reality far more complex than the silent face presented to the stars. A planet is not merely a solid object. It is a continuous process, a relentless unfolding of energy spanning deep time. What appears still is actually shifting, dense layers flowing under pressures we cannot see, transforming the world in a rhythm far too slow for the human eye to ever capture. Gravity guides form and motion, acting without any concern for perfect symmetry, shaping worlds through constant, invisible adjustment. It pulls varying densities into alignment, forcing matter to bend and flow, sculpting the planet's atmosphere not by design, but by sheer crushing weight. Planets are not static monuments. They respond, deform, and evolve long after formation ends. Driven by rotation, currents wrap the globe, stretching the atmosphere into flowing bands, a restless cycle proving that a world is never truly finished. As the light collapses, so does our reliance on intuition. We are left with raw physics operating in the dark. The form vanishes, yet energy persists without witness. In the end, intuition fades, and only motion remains. Some worlds exist near the very edge of physical possibility, where familiar rules stretch thin and quietly lose all authority. Here, standard definitions dissolve, revealing a reality operating on a scale far beyond what the human mind is prepared to accept. Extremes are not always violent or dramatic explosions of force. Many unfold slowly, silently, far beyond the reach of intuition. On these frozen worlds, energy does not burn. It withdraws completely, locking matter into a deep stillness, more permanent than stone. Over billions of years, the universe reveals its true scale not through visible motion or sudden events, but through quiet persistence. As matter slowly gathers, distances expand beyond intuition, and gravity reshapes space with such patience that change feels almost absent, even though nothing in the cosmos ever truly stands still. As the universe continues to expand, structure begins to thin, galaxies drift farther apart, and the connections that once shaped vast systems slowly weaken, not through destruction, but through distance. As space itself stretches and time quietly carries everything away from its original form. In these final reaches, we must accept a difficult truth. Uncertainty is not a simple flaw in our vision, nor a temporary gap in our knowledge. It is a fundamental property, woven into the very fabric of the universe itself, a a silent reality that remains after the light has finally faded into the absolute void. In this vast silence, we keep searching for patterns, for a hidden meaning or a hint of familiarity. We peer into the dark, hoping the universe might eventually meet us halfway, offering a sign that we are not entirely alone in this grand, indifferent design, a flicker of light in the endless deep. If these strange worlds feel deeply unfamiliar, it may be because the universe was never truly designed to make us feel comfortable within it. We are merely witnesses to a reality that operates by its own ancient logic, where every spark of light eventually returns to the silence of the eternal dark.